Hello. What
Hey, there we go. Okay, it's working.
guys did you call? Sorry about the name, by the way. I know it implies that I'm a girl, but
It's
yeah,
totally fine. It doesn't bother me either way. um, okay, so let's try to figure out what's going on here. First of all, let's start with your introduction. So, how long you been playing? Where you're from? What your tag is? Goals for the game, stuff like that.
I see. Uh, I started playing at the end of 2019. Um, and my goal initially was to be good enough that Leffen had someone to practice against in Sweden. And now I don't even live there, so I just kind of like playing the game. Now I just want to beat everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess I don't have like any long-term realistic goals that I want to meet. Just kind of want to be able to beat anyone,
Okay.
honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay, and what is the issue we're going over today? What problems are you having with this Fox matchup or whatever?
I'm having problems with people who are just moving backwards. They don't even have to do it very well. Like I can see that it almost looks like they're making fun of me, and I still lose. It's
By like moving backwards.
Yeah, like I played in tournament Valpan, which is a really good boxer as well, and he just kind of stood on the ground, and every time I moved in, he just moved a little bit backwards every time, and I lost. It was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is the screen share working? Can.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Okay. And it's up on my stream. Okay. I'm just gonna run it and see what I see, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, you don't want to start pulling a turnip against Fox because you
Hmm.
start out really far out of position. Like you basically need to get to the ground as soon as possible when the match starts. Something small, but this just automatically starts you in a bad position.
Yeah, I do this a lot too.
Okay. Okay, so all right. I'm just gonna mention a bunch of things really quick, and then as we go through, we'll figure out more of like a general thing that you can improve on or something like that. But so so the thing I noticed first of all here is that you start out with like four approaching aerials. So like
Oh yeah.
this back air is drifting in towards him. And the thing is like this back air is not necessarily like you're not really trying to hit him anyway. It's
Hmm.
just kind of out here to as like a wall. So you have to be careful. Like if you're walling, you don't want to accidentally like you either want to be like approaching or you want to be walling. You don't really want to be doing like I'm gonna kind of like wall approach because then a lot of times you're kind of like overcommitting and sort of like going in too far in a way that like you might get like punished or whatever. So you do get kind of punished here just because you kind of get stuck, and then so then right here you immediately like float out of your hit stun like immediately, and then you just drift in and you throw it an aerial. So it's basically like it's very clear. You're just like let me at him, like
Yeah.
give me the free hit, and it's not like a like you're not trying to like win in neutral or like bait him or like outplay him.
Hmm.
So I think so
Yeah.
that gets you hit a few times, and then like immediately you're like, okay, I float out of hit stun immediately, and I approaching aerial, and
Oh
so
yeah,
for
there's gonna
him,
be a lot of this, I think.
it's really easy. He's like, oh, I just hit you, and then when you go up in the air here, you float, and then you're gonna float at me in aerial, and then I just have to be able to punish it, and I'm in good shape. And so
Hmm.
once again, right here, you immediately float out of hit stun and then drift back towards him. And we're probably going to try to aerial him.
Hmm.
Yeah, so basically this entire stock you're just holding in. Like you're
Yeah.
just like you haven't pressed a direction that's not directly at him the entire stock.
Yeah. I don't think I do anything other than that. till maybe the last match, and even then, I don't even know if that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 'cause I think when I like want to do I don't know, walling or whatever, I still drift in, like almost always.
Mm-hmm. It's fine if you do it maybe like a little bit, but it's you're doing it in a way that makes it like really obvious that you're just gonna kind of go in.
Hmm.
Okay, so good turnip edge guard. You're definitely floating really far away from edge here.
Yeah, yeah, no, that was.
Okay. Okay, that wasn't bad. Okay, that was a good walling back air. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of times at low percents, if you kind of tap somebody with your back air, which you did,
Mhm.
which is good, you just have to be really ready for them to like spam something really fast. A lot of times, if you hit people, they'll do like a shine
Mhm.
drill or a shine nair, or they'll just like wave shine up or on you or something. So
Right,
you just have to be really aware of what they're gonna do, like after you do tap them with that. So
right.
I'm kind of getting a better idea from watching this of maybe like what you can work on. You know about like the down air like facing forward, right? Like, cause right here
Yeah, yeah, to
you do the
yeah.
backwards down air, but like the forward one, the hitbox is way better.
Hmm. Yeah.
And you only need to do the down air when Fox is gonna sweet spot. So like this is kind of ambiguous, so I can definitely say you'd probably want to do the down air here. But like if he was like here, if he was slightly higher, then you'd be able to like do a nair instead of the down air, and that's like part of a big deal of like why you need to be facing forward is because the nair hits a lot lower in front than behind you,
Right.
and the
So
nair
I
is a
have a
lot
question
stronger than the
about
bear.
you.
Yeah.
Like when I do the like down air on ledge or whatever, and they drop down, and they like hold in a bit, so they're like under the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything I can do after I've done it, like other than do it over and over again forever?
Um. So you're saying like they go like they're like past the line of the stage, like they're completely underneath the stage.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
Okay, because like basically if they're like directly underneath the ledge, you can
Mhm.
do the thing where you do like down air turnip pull, and then you do down air run off turnip, like run off and throw the turnip down. If they're like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
if they're below the ledge, you can do that.
Hmm.
Otherwise, if they're like below the stage, you're not going to be able to do anything. What you're really looking for is you're really looking for your down airs to kind of either they DI wrong and it combos into nair, you know, down air nair,
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
you're looking for them to be above the ledge. Like normally, what'll happen is like they'll try to sweet spot and the down air will kind of keep hitting them, so then they'll
Right.
do like a more vertical angle to try to go like up into you and hit you out of your down air. And
Right.
then you just wait a split second and nair them after they've cleared the ledge, and that way they can't tech.
Okay.
So if they go like if they're sweet spotting, you down air. If they're not sweet spotting, you can nair them or back air them or fair or whatever as they clear the edge. Like right
Okay.
as they're too far up to tech. But otherwise, yeah, if they're doing like the same upbeat every time, where they like grab ledge or they like sweet spot the ledge, and you're like super sure that they're gonna do it, you might even be able to like down air and then grab ledge to sort of trick them. But
Oh, I see.
yeah,
Yeah, that's.
so if they're gonna go past ledge, you have your strong aerials. If they're gonna grab ledge, you can grab ledge. If you want something guaranteed that covers everything, you can kind of just dare over and over.
Hmm. Okay.
So that's sort of it. And like I said, if they're dropping down to a place where they're like below the edge but they're not so far under that you can't like reach them, you can do like down air turnip pull and then down air turnip throw.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so I know that like pulling a turnip while you're invincible feels like you're at least doing something, but it's honestly just not it's not that useful versus Fox. You really just want to try to like hit him with an aerial or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've also
The
noticed
default habit.
you haven't done like a single up air. Up air is good against Fox for if you like read him full hopping.
I see. Right.
Okay, so that was good. Down air. Down air. See, he's going for these sweet spots, and then okay, yeah. And so
Okay.
so the down airs are fine here. What you could do right here is let me see. You go back. You hit this. Okay, so first of all, right here when you hit this turnip, this is like a kill. Right here, you can just run off and fast fall here. And then as soon as he up Bs, you could have floated and fared this or nared this. Like an Armada Shine, but with like a fair and nair right here.
Right.
So, like, if this turnip hits and he's dropping below the stage and he can't, like, double jump and he's gonna up B down here, you can you have a guaranteed kill every time. So that's one thing you can do. So waiting on stage is kind of, like, the worst option. But or it's like your fallback of like, well, I have nothing better I can do, so I guess I'll like wait on the stage, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So I was expecting to see a video of him camping you really hard, but it's really not. I'm kind of surprised by it. It's more that you like this. Like it's more that like you're very like over anxious to like hit him. Like it's very clearly you're just like, "Oh, why can't I hit him?" You know, and it's kind of like, well, you have a lot of time left in the game. You have several minutes, and there's not many stocks left. Like, as Peach, your matches are naturally going to be slower. So the faster the faster character in a matchup generally controls the pace. So whichever character can like move around faster is going to be the one who sort of decides when the interactions happen, and therefore like decides, you know, like if you're playing, you know, against Puff, like Puff, Peach is the character who is going to be kind of waiting for Puff to like come in and interact with her. You can't really like chase down Puff or whatever because she's too fast and she has too many aerial options. And Fox is kind of similar, where like you don't really get to 100% decide like when to fight. You can try to pressure Fox, but it's like a very slow process. And ultimately you're looking to like try to convince Fox to attack you, in which case you can hit him. So when you're going for stuff like that fair you did, let me see. Even that floating air is kind of extreme, but like right here, you're just kind of like reaching at him, and it's like no matter how far forward you throw this forward air, he can always just get out of your way. So reaching out for your opponent is usually not what you really want to be doing, because like even with your maximum reach, you're not going to reach them. So it just becomes like an overcommitment. A lot of times what you want to do is maybe do like a fair kind of wall and then move in a little slower. So let me go into let's finish this game really quick, and then I'll go into Dolphin and show you what I mean. Okay, good up air. Okay, you died.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me get Dolphin started and let me show you what I'm talking about.
You need to activate Windows, dude.
What?
It says activate Windows.
Oh yeah, no. You can use Windows 10 forever without activating it, so why would I?
You're like Mog, dude.
Hmm?
It's the same. Mog is the same thing. Always.
It's the way to do it. Okay, so you're doing like a lot of stuff. Like you were here, right? And you like came down like this. But the thing is it's so easy for Fox to just go dash back, dash in, dash attack, or whatever, and then you're suddenly in a horrible position. So a lot of times it's more of a game of like you want to... It's the all-important thing with Peach is to keep yourself safe. Because Fox is going to be doing all these drills, he's going to be running around, shining, and doing all this nairs and crazy stuff. And your goal is basically, first of all, stay on the ground. Being on the platforms is really bad as Peach. I know you can sometimes get the down smashes, but generally it's really bad. And so you want to stay on the ground, and you want to, like... Peach is very slow, right? Which makes her... She needs to focus on very subtle spacing. So doing, like, these big, like, forward movements you do, or, like, you'll float and then go forward like that, these are basically useless, because you're choosing to move forward as far as you can with a character who's the worst at moving forward as far as she can. Like, out of all the top tiers, Peach is probably the worst at moving forward. Maybe Sheik, but it's pretty close. So you really want to do stuff where you're more, like, if you're like this, and instead of doing this, you might want to do something like that, where you're like, I'm totally coming forward at you, Fox. And so Fox has to, like, deal with the threat of this, but you don't actually want to do it. You want to kind of go like that, like, you know, like that more or something.
Oh, I see.
So it's like, you can threaten going the full distance, but he can punish the full distance. So if you do like a partially in distance here, he has to move out of the range of this fair, the one that hits here, and you're landing here. So his normal dash back, dash and punish on the fair that, like, full commit forward won't work, because you're doing actually this one instead. And if he tries to punish it, you might be able to get a hit, you know? And so there's, like, and, like, when you're getting out of hit stun too, and, like, you kind of get out of hit stun and you're here, and you're like, okay, well, my options are basically, I'm just stuck in the air and I'm gonna get juggled, or I can hit him. But, like, going for the hit is what it will continuously keep you in a bad position. So a lot of times, if I get hit and I'm kind of out here or whatever, I'll do, like, the float, and then you can kind of, like, do, like, an air dodge like that, or you can do, like, a nair like this and then shield drop like that. Like, coming down from the air or from hit stun should always be about protecting yourself first. Like, you're not... The better the player is that you're playing against, the lower chance of you getting, like, a reversal from, like, oh, you get hit and you just, like, mash into them and it hits them. It'll work sometimes, but it's not reliable. And the better the player you're playing against, the less reliable it's going to be. So it's kind of like, if you do this and you don't hit him, and you're, like, here and you're like this, and you kind of do that instead, like, kind of like a wall thing where you drift back, that's... Like, he can't really punish you for it, and you have, like, maintained neutral positioning. Like, that is your goal out of a disadvantaged state here. It's not to gain an advantage by hitting him. It's to get out of disadvantage. So you might do this, like that, you know? Like, you want to... So it's all about, like, the opponent, the Fox, gets to schmoove around. Like, he gets to cover space and fly around like this. You don't really get to do that. Peach a lot of times has played a lot more like this.
Right.
Like what I'm doing now, where I'm kind of doing this little spacing, and then I'll kind of do this, and then that. So this is kind of like how I would normally, like, play the movement of it, where it's like, it's very, like, contained to, like, my little bubble of death here. Like, this is, like, what Peach is all about, is that I have my little bubble, and in this bubble, I control all the space really cleanly. And then, if, like, let's say Fox is... Let's get Doc over here. If Fox is right here, I'm not just going to go like this and try to hit him, or, like, you know, float over and hit him. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to kind of be protecting myself, and I'm looking for a little opportunity, and I'm like, oh, you can't leave the corner. You can't leave the corner. You can't, and then I'm kind of working my way, and then, you know, I get that. You know, after literally, like, 20 seconds.
Right.
So that's kind of how Peach works. You want these long neutral interactions where... Let me grab another Slippy file. You want these long neutral interactions where they can't throw you off. Like, they can't throw you out of your little bubble of protecting yourself. Mm-hmm. Because they're going to be kind of throwing out, like, random moves and flying across the stage, usually, and your job is to protect yourself from those. So once you can stop them from, like, rushing you and flying all over you, then they have to play it kind of careful. And then once you can play it careful, you can kind of start taking space. Like, it's like Fox is, he's dancing around everywhere, but Peach is just like, it's like you're trapped in a room with a giant stone cube, and it moves like 1 inch per hour, but it just like very slowly like crushes you into the corner,
Like a
like,
zombie attack.
hmm.
It's like a zombie attack.
Yeah, and that's kind of how Peach is. Peach is very much just, well, you can't hit me, and Fox is like, okay, I'm not gonna hit you, and you just 1 inch at a time slowly get closer until you're in a range where you can force a mix-up and go for, shield and do something out of shield, or a dash attack, or like a quick aerial or something like that. So once again, do not start with this turnip pull. You want to start the game by immediately like either dropping to ground here or running off the platform here. Like, you do not want to be above Fox when the match starts, because you're basically starting off the match in a losing position.
I think, like, doing the, like, almost like grindy moving forward. I don't know. I think I'm, like, building up a panic attack when I'm doing it. So, like, I get scared of being so close at a certain point without doing any moves attacking. I think that's what's stopping me from doing that.
Well, the thing is like, so from the Fox's perspective, Peach's defense is pretty scary. Like, let's say he shines you, right? But you're floating. Then you get a down smash. Because he'll shine you and you instantly land and you get the down smash. And then, so he doesn't want that. Let's say he drills you. You can SDI out and grab him. And if he nairs you, you can CC down smash or grab. And so, like, he doesn't have, like, a super easy way to just get in there and, like, crush you into the ground, And so, maybe you need to practice that defense a little bit more. But the idea is, like, you just need to get, like, this is a good range to be at right here to kind of just passively pressure. Like, you do some dash dances, you do an aerial, maybe you read a full hop every now and then. So this is good. So look, what I would have done here is I would have, like I said, I would have walled an aerial in this exact position, like right here. I would have done like dash back, done a back air right here, and then done another dash back. And he would have wave dashed right into my back air, and then he probably would have like mashed shine here and missed me as I ran back, and he would still be in pressure. And so here we go again with like the reaching on the aerial. That's the thing, is you're not gonna catch him. No matter how hard you reach, you'll never reach Fox. No matter how hard you can give everything you got, you're never gonna reach him here. He has to reach for you. That is the only way you will ever hit this character. He's too fast. So it's like, what you want to do here is you don't want to hit him. What you want us to do is say, okay, I'm going to cover this area. That'll put Fox here. What is he going to do after that? But if you give him this whiff punish, you don't get to keep playing your game. And now you like took a ton of damage and you're stuck up on the platform and you're a little anxious, like running off and floating here instead of playing like a slower platform game to get down. So that's a big one so far, is you get very impatient in disadvantage. And disadvantage is where Peach needs to be like the most patient. Okay, that was not a bad fair because he was already cornered. Okay, so this is good.
Alright, so he doesn't have anywhere to go backwards. That's why it's okay-ish.
No, well, okay, yeah, if he goes backwards, it'll be a ledge grab, ledge dash, in which case, like, you can maintain neutral there. So yeah, he doesn't have a way to go backwards enough that he can punish you. He can still escape, but he can't, like, reversal you.
Okay. So it's safer, it's just still not the gameplay.
Yeah, you're not gonna get him, but it's good to do. So yeah, this is, like, a much better example of, like, spacing that you should kind of be doing. Like, I would much rather see something like this, so you do this, and then you overcommit a little bit here, but you're kind of keeping him in the corner and kind of walling, and then, okay, so this is perfect. So you're doing this, and you're kind of walling him and, like, just sort of pressuring in the corner, but you're not, like, big committing, and then when he moves out, you're moving back, and you're like, oh, go ahead, try it, like, try to approach me, And then he eventually does try to approach you with this drill, but you happen to, like, basically win the mix-up by going here, and you realize, oh, I can just dash attack back here. And you could have definitely gotten it, you were just a little slow.
Right.
And that's
Okay.
yeah, and that's why it didn't work. But you correctly played that situation. That is very much how you want to
Yeah.
do it. And yeah, this back air, I think the idea with this back air was good, but you just floated too far. And
Hmm.
so you tried to float back, but like doing an aerial and then floating back is not like it's not quick enough. It's better to just bare land and then like shield if you think he's gonna come in.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Wave dash down smash, definitely good. Okay, so yeah, so check this out. You didn't even really do the good counterplay to this, but you were crouching, and it's like you kind of like get out of his thing here, you know, and you kind of have some stuff. So like him approaching you and just throwing out moves. If you were like dashing back and kind of doing counterplay here, you could have easily like killed him out of that, you know, like
I
SDI
see.
the down air one time to the left, and then he misses his grab and you down smash, and then you edge guard or something like that.
Right. I see. Yeah, I need to work on my SDI as well. I'm having a hard time reacting to drill and
It's really
SDI.
hard. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
I see.
Just do your best, but it's really really hard. So
Okay.
this is not bad, but you're not like it feels so like it feels to me when I'm watching this, it feels like you're looking at you and you know kind of vaguely where your opponent
Mm.
is. Like it
Yeah,
feels like you're watching yourself because it
it is.
doesn't look like you're looking for like what your opponent is wanting here. So it's like you have to really think about like what you're doing here. So he's dashing in this position. He is expecting you to drop a nair, which is why he dashes away. You do drop a nair a little bit late, but you drop it. But look how you overcommitted again. You really want to be dropping the nair a little further back. Just remember,
Yeah.
don't reach. So then
Yeah.
after you do that, you are moving back here, but I feel like you're not really looking at what he could be doing. Because
Right.
you're just doing this nair here, you're not like paying attention. Because if you were paying a lot of attention here, you might try to do like maybe float away crouch and then try to CC this or something like that.
Hmm.
And so you do outspace him, but it's like you're not really ready for like the moves he's actually gonna use. You're just kind of like, well, Fox has a lot of options, and he's kind of like this big ball of threats, you know. But he's
Yeah.
not like you really have to break it down to the specifics of like, is he gonna nair? Then I can do this. Is he gonna drill? Then I can do this, and kind of start like guessing which move he's gonna use based on the positioning. Because that's really how Peach works against Fox. Is like you kind of like you're like, all right, Fox has 40 options, and you're like, okay, none of those options are gonna hit me, and I move 1 inch closer, and you go, okay, well at this range, Fox has 20 options, and you say, okay, those 20 are not gonna hit me, and you move a little closer, and you say, okay, Fox has 3 options, and you say, okay, I'm gonna pick option B, and then like let's say you crouch because you think he's gonna nair, you know, it's like the crouch isn't so committal that if he does like let's say you think he's gonna nair you, so you crouch next to him, and then he does a full hop. You can react to that full hop and like dash dance dash attack or dash dance grab or something like that. So a lot of times you can like get close and do a guess that if he does the thing you're expecting, you'll be able to get a good hit on him. And then if he doesn't, you can kind of react or like SDI or like you can deal with it afterward.
Yeah.
Yeah, overcommitment on the aerials. Both of those are overcommitments on the aerials.
I feel like I don't know if this makes sense, but I'm like so busy trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing that I don't feel like I have time to even think about what he's doing. Like I feel like before I learned Melee, I feel like I was better at like predicting what people were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't.
Well,
Yeah, I'm just really busy thinking about what I'm supposed to be doing.
it's kind of just really intertwined though because like you have your game plan. Your game
Yeah.
plan is basically, or it should be, to make like you want to make yourself look really tantalizing for Fox to hit, and then be
Hmm.
ready for him to try to hit you. And so you
Right.
need to know move. Like when I'm playing Peach and I'm spacing against Fox, I'm like, ooh, this looks like a spot he really wants to nair in. Therefore, I will like crouch or whatever.
Hmm.
So like you don't need to be like watching every input your opponent makes, but you need to be aware of like how you look from the opponent's side because you're trying to bait Fox. So if you don't know which move looks good for Fox based on your positioning, then it's going to be really difficult for you to, make a correct guess and get your punish. Like if you don't know what looks good for him. So it's less necessarily about like reacting to what he's doing and more like knowing based on the position of the characters which moves are like more probable. That's like more important than like directly watching him, I think.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, overcommit on the aerial. Okay, that happens. That nair up smash happens all the time. You didn't really do anything wrong there.
Also, what I do when they die.
Oh, like they come back
What, like,
invincibly or
yeah,
whatever?
am I supposed to do something specific? Like, I don't want to go to ledge. I feel like that sucks.
Yeah, oh, I've seen different approaches to it. Some Peaches will like go off stage and kind of like float there and then kind of like air dodge back to a platform maybe, or like there's nothing like super guaranteed to do. I think going off stage can be good sometimes, and then sometimes I kind of just go on stage and I'll do like full hop waveland off roll or something like that to try to like avoid his invincibility. There's nothing like super consistent where you should just do it every time. I've had some success with going off stage, but then other times not. So here's like a thing with like your dash attack here is that like you're basically just doing this dash attack because you feel like it and not because it was kind of obvious where he was going to be, because he still has like a lot of stage and it's not like he's like rushing you. It's just very gambly. The thing is, it's not too bad of a dash attack. It's more that like every single move you've thrown out so far is kind of gambly and not really like based on anything. Because the thing is, ultimately, you're gonna be gambling somewhat. Like ultimately, there's some sort of mix-ups involved, but you wanna make sure that you're doing the mix-ups in like the best positions you can possibly be doing them, and making sure that like when you guess right, you want a big reward, And so
Like I'm gambling on all odds rather than like good odds.
So it's kind of like if your goal basically is to up your odds. That is like the goal of neutral game, is you want to up your odds. And if you can get them, like let's say Fox whiffs an up smash and you run up and grab him, that's great. You managed to get your odds to 100% because he whiffed. So you got an easy punish. And that's like ideal. But the better your opponent is, they're not going to give you the 100-0 easy whiff that often. Right. And so that's why you have to start doing these mix-ups. But like when you're going for like approaching back air in the air when he's at like 20% or something, even if you hit the back air and you're like, yes, I did it, I got the back air, you're not getting like a big combo out of it,
Right.
So it's like, I want you to be focusing more on, first of all, getting grabs. I haven't seen you go for like a lot of grab mix-ups. A lot of times in this matchup, it'll be something like Peach does that grounded game I was kind of showing you, and then maybe she gets kind of Fox into the corner, and she gets like a fair on shield, and then she'll get like a jab grab mix up or something. I'm just not really seeing that sort of game plan like in general from you. It's a lot more like I want to hit him, but the game isn't about hitting. The game is about getting kills, you know? So those are good dash attacks because you're making... They hit him off stage. Like, both of those dash attacks, when they hit, they give you a chance to win the game.
Okay.
Or to win the stock, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's like, well, he's at least off stage. I have a chance I can edge guard him. Whereas, like, kind of building damage by just hitting people with a back air or something is not going to give you that much. So, okay, let's see what you do. Okay, dash attack at 0. It's kind of okay. Okay, this is kind of okay with the wave dashing. Sometimes you'll just kind of get run over on this stage. That's how it is. More shield and roll would probably be nice to see. So here's the thing is you're not changing the position you're at to fight. So like remember like what he's seeing. So he right here. So like watch from like the fox perspective, whatever. So you throw this, and then you crouch right here. So he does this dash dance, and then you're kind of just like here, and he just saw you crouching. So you're kind of implying like a down smash, and you're not moving your position. So the right answer here is like probably something like wave dash back down smash, because what that does is saying like, well, I was kind of in this position for a while. So maybe Fox will try to attack this position. But if he does, I can wave dash down smash and hit him. But because you down smash in the same spot that you already were, he doesn't have to do any extra thinking. He just sees that you're here and then you down smash here, so he gets an easy punish. Whereas if you had wave dash back down smashed, he might have like jumped into that, you know?
Right.
This Fox also seems very good on FD.
Yeah.
He really knows what he's doing here. As I'm kind of impressed.
Yeah. FD is brutal, like against everybody here.
Definitely.
I don't even pick it in tournaments.
Okay, you get your chain grab. That's good.
So he can jump out when he does that upwards, right? At some point.
Yeah, you just have to. You get a 50-50 on the nair usually. You can do some funky stuff. Like there's ways to do like weak dash attack, and it kind of sends them up, and then you get another 50-50 direction, like left or right on the nair or whatever. If he DIs straight up, you can also up smash it. I've gotten killed. I've gotten killed by that before. So if he does that kind of slight DI thing like that, don't worry about it. Just jump out and nair him, like when he's gonna jump out. Like you're not gonna get a kill out of the chain grab anyway. All it does is set you up for like an edge guard.
Okay.
I definitely want to see more like wave dash out of shield. Like I want to see you shield and then wave dash out of it. Like usually backwards.
Yeah. Okay. This guy, he well, before Slippy, he couldn't play against anyone. He was just practicing like in the North Mountains in Japan.
That's funny. Yeah, he's pretty good at least at some stuff.
Yeah, so I'm like trying to do other stuff here, I think. But yeah, I'm still scared
so like
of it.
right here with like this crouch down smash, remember, it's like crouch, fox, like recognize when you crouch, know that the fox is going to react somehow to you crouching. Then you see him full hop. This is the perfect opportunity to pick a direction, left or right, and just wave dash in that direction, and then either try to grab the full hop or down smash. But by down smashing in the same spot, like even though it works, it's kind of like it's not nearly as tricky as it could be. Like you always, even if someone can outsmart you, you want them to have to outsmart like the trickiest thing you could do, not like the least tricky thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay. I actually kind of want to just find a fox on unranked really quick and just show you what I'm talking about with Peach, because I feel like it might sound kind of, I don't know, complicated or something, but I really just want to show you.
I definitely get what you're saying. It's just
I just kind of want to give you like a feeling for what I'm saying a bit more. So fox, no. Let's hope. There's a lot of foxes on Unranked, so I'm guessing it'll take no more than 30 seconds to find one.
Alright. Poor guys. All of them just getting with all
Yeah, this must seem strange because in your region there's like nobody playing. And here it's just like, okay, here we go.
So sorry, whatever.
Okay, so I'm coming down from the platform immediately. Notice that he's moving in on me, and that's when I'm hitting him. And I'm kind of slowly closing the gap. You can do this float too, but I'm not allowing him to hit me. And I'm, ooh, he got me there. So I'm not allowing him to hit me, and I'm kind of letting him get close. And then I'm whoa.
Are you waiting for him
lag.
to jump to react to, or are
Not
you...
necessarily. I'm more like waiting for him to get close. And that's when I sort of get like, I sort of trigger the mix-up of like, so see like that, where I kind of moved back. I moved back slightly and then back aired.
Okay.
And then I'm just kind of shielding, and then I get my pressure. Oop, now I'm safe again.
So here's what I felt like from... I was playing the guy that I was talking about in the tournament, Falfan. And he... I was thinking about, like, okay, maybe I'll try to be more, like, in place or whatever. And he just didn't go towards me ever then. Like, his choice was to not do that.
So that's why, like, so this guy is coming in on me, right? But that's only, like, he shouldn't really be doing that. We should end up kind of more like that, where we have more of, like, this sort of subtle spacing, where, like, oh, come on. Where, like, I'm looking for, like, I'm looking for him to come in, but then when he's not gonna come in on me, and then I kind of slowly take a little bit of space.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely
See
feel
how I'm
like
just
my
keeping him in the
arrow's
corner?
moving in so much.
Like I'm kind of like keeping him in position where he can't really hit me super easily.
Right.
And then when he sort of presses out to try to get me, that's when I'm going to also press forward to get him or move back to avoid it. So here's that wave dash out of shield and like roll stuff where I can kind of keep myself safe from his general approaches. Oh, and then there we go, get the big opening. And that's kind of what Peach needs, is like, you get... Ooh, he got Lemmy. But you kind of need, like, this sort of, like, patience, where I'm kind of just, like, walling him, right? Because the more I kind of reach for my opponent, the less it's going to work out. It's all about, he can't get me. And then I get my big opening, and I get this, you know?
Yeah. I definitely need to be more patient.
So I'll see if he can do one more. But that's kind of like what I'm saying is like, notice that I'm not really like moving forward a lot. It's a lot of like, I'm doing this, and so this time he's decided he's not going to move forward. So now I'll move forward super slightly, and he gave it to me, but... So if he's going to camp, then it's like, that's cool. I'm going to slowly move forward, and then a lot of times I'll get close to him, and then I'll move back. Until I can get my big opening.
Right. So that's a thing, like, it was on this stage also so reminiscent. Like, I moved in all the way to him being in the corner. Like, he was lasering me the whole time, of course. And then, like, I felt like I needed to try to hit him from there. Or he was just going to, like...
Yeah, a lot of times when they're in the corner, you can do, like, a thing where you kind of wait, and then you'll get, like, a full hop up air or a full hop nair there. Okay. So let me see if I can get it on him. He hasn't really let me corner him much. He's kind of just attacking before I get the corner. But, okay, so here we go. I'm kind of trying to, like... I'm like, go ahead, attack me.
God, you did all that work and he shined you one.
And then once you get him here, you can kind of get your corner pressure. I'm going to throw this away. But notice that I'm not, like, going in. I'm looking for him to, like, barely miss me. Like, I almost got that punish on his nair. Then I get this. I'm dead. So that's more how the stock is going to go, is, like, if he wants to be aggressive, it'll feel like Fox is trying to hit me, he's trying to hit me, he's trying to hit me, and he can't really. And then... So look at that. Shield away, dash back is so good. And then, oh, there we go. And then you get your opening. And then you're looking to try to kill out of that opening if possible, or get, like, the biggest punish you can. And then here, look at how I'm not going in, and then air dodge. There we go. And he tried to hit me. He missed it. I'll do one more. But I feel like this is, like, kind of the example of, like, what I've been talking about. Where I'm not trying to reach for him like that, even though he lets me hit him. I'm kind of like... Go for it. Approach me. Approach me. He doesn't wanna? That's fine. But I'm gonna slowly encroach, and I'm gonna try to make him more afraid, and try to get him more, like... He needs to feel more and more pressured by me, like, getting closer, without me ever being in danger. So that way I can kind of bait out... Watch, I'm trying to bait him out, and he's trying to not approach.
The distance between you two.
This will happen a lot.
So
oh, and there we go. And then you get that. And then, hooray!
I feel like the distance between where you are and he is really far. Like...
It is, because I don't want to let him nair in. And I'm down to get closer, but he has to let me. Like, I can't actually cross that distance without being in danger of him nairing me.
Okay. So what is it you're waiting for when you're, like, trying to make the distance shorter?
I'm waiting for him to make, like, a really obvious defensive movement.
Okay.
So I'll show you, like, I'm trying to get in like this. See how he like moved back a lot there?
Mm-hmm. So that's like a
yeah,
really
so I'm kind of like
defensive.
waiting, and I'm like, okay, how close can I get without being in danger? And then he'll like dash back, because let's say he's kind of worried for whatever reason about... He's kind of worried.
Oh, I see. So now he's like aggressive. Right?
Yeah, so now he's being really aggro. So now I'm just gonna wait for him. And I'm just gonna wait, and if he wants to come in, then I can hit him. Like, go ahead, buddy.
Wow, I feel like it just opened up my third eye. What the fuck? So like this is aggressive. Jesus.
So if somebody wants to be aggressive, they can, but I'm going to be waiting for it.
Yeah.
And then if he wants to be defensive, that's fine, because I can wait too, and just slowly encroach. So if he wants to be aggro on me, that's okay. And then I'm always ready for him to do something dumb, and just give me it for free.
Yeah. But in my mind, when he was standing that close to you and like doing the back airs, that's been a defensive thing this whole time, but it's not, right? It's like...
No, because he's
really
trying to
close.
hit me. If he makes any attempt to try to hit me, that's aggro. Most of the time, the fox is just gonna freaking run away and literally like avoid all interaction. But if he wants to try to hit me with his moves, then go ahead. See, look at that. he's eventually just gonna bite. And then I have him in my edge guard trap. So yeah, so he's given up all hope of being defensive now, and he's just totally on the aggro train. And so a lot of times foxes will kind of end up like that, but if he wants to, I'm down to... See, I just kind of waited until he gave it to me. And so you can kind of just do that. And I wish he was playing campier so I could kind of show you.
Yeah. Maybe you can find someone else.
But notice that I'm not overcommitting. I'm owning my little bubble.
Yeah. And then as soon as he jumps in. So now he's being aggressive again. So you have to stay in place, basically.
Yeah, if he, well, I usually try to like, I'll do little forward movements and then I'll move back to try to like bait him.
Yeah. But like the idea of like...
Yeah, the idea is like I want him
You can't really take big steps.
I want him to try to hit me and then like barely miss. You know? I want him to like, watch, he's gonna whip an up smash, yeah. So So I want him to whiff that, and then I'll get this, you know, and then it's like, oh, well, he just tried to hit me. And that's the frustrating part of this matchup as Fox against Peach, is it feels like every time you try to hit her, she's just gonna somehow hit you back. So it's like, I'm only getting these pressures because he's getting nice and close to me and letting me hit him. So it's like, Peach can approach as long as her opponent is already 1 inch in front of her face.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just held shield there, get my stuff. And then see, he went above the ledge to avoid the down air. And then I just waited above the ledge and hit him. Oh, wow, that hit high. So let me see if I can get the sort of aggro game where I'm kind of like... He's not letting me do it, because he's trying to hit me too much. If somebody wants to try to hit me this much, like, that makes this basically a good matchup for me. So, you see that wave dash back, down tilt? No, I tried. Okay. Alright. That's it for the unranked games. But... So, let's go back really quick. Let's see, how much time do we have left? We have like 10 minutes, no, 8 minutes. Okay, so let's grab one of your games again. And now, like, obviously, you know, this is still, you can't implement anything that we just talked about in this game, but like, what we can do is we can compare this to like what I was talking about and hopefully give you a better idea of like the difference between those two styles of play. So let's see. First of all, is Fox, so number 1, do not pull this when the game starts. And always get to the ground. That'll just help a lot at the beginning of these games. Second one is notice if the Fox is trying to approach you. So that's why I always start, like my general neutral is like wave dash back and wall and just try to prevent Fox from being able to like approach. You know, shield and roll and just be like, any move you want to throw at me, that's fine. I'm going to slightly get out of the way and look for an opportunity to like smack you with like a down smash or a grab or something strong. And so you really have to, like, when he's doing these, basically if you're playing a Fox and you're not able to do, and this is also why I say you generally want to stay grounded, because you have more options to, like, counter nair. Whereas, like, if you're in the air, you don't. And the thing is, there are ways that, like, at low percent, you can do kind of, like, this float height up here, where he has to, like, full hop aerial you. And you can kind of do that stuff, and if you watch, like... Blade-wise or some other Peaches, they're really good at doing that at low percents, where they kind of do this full hop float. But generally, you either want to be floating above short hop nair height, or you want to be on the ground, or like extremely low floating, you know? This sort of like middle height float you did with the back air is like the perfect thing for him to just nair into, like right here. You just sort of do this. You want to be slightly higher, so that this nair doesn't hit, or you want to be on the ground.
Okay.
But because if Fox can get away with these dumb nairs, like he's not, like, look, watch from his perspective. He's just like, nair, nair, you know? And it's good you tried to CC down smash this. This was good. But, if he's getting away with these nairs, you'll just never win. He needs to get punished for these nairs and be like, okay, I can't do the dumb nairs.
Okay.
And okay, notice you need more patience when you're in disadvantage here. You need to be very patient coming back. Don't just aerial back like that. Okay, so he's just freaking going nuts to stock somehow. Okay, so once again, you're not really in a position to approach because Fox hasn't started spamming aerials and stuff like that. You only get to try to hit Fox with this dash attack when Fox is very clearly like rushing you. And so because he's not, and and you're kind of reaching. See how different that feels from what I was doing? Oh, but this was good. This dash attack is good because he's very clearly, like, look at his motion for the last few seconds. He's like, shine, back here, dash dance drill, shine, and then you're like, okay, get off me, you know? And that's where the dash attack comes in. It's like, stop it, stop throwing out all your moves all the time. Here's a dash attack to remind you that I'm still here. And then you get your pressure, and then it's your turn. Be very careful with, like, this type of thing where you do this and then you immediately dash in here. You got to be really careful with that because a lot of times that's like Fox's cue to come in. So a lot of times here I would either like dash, I would probably do like dash away shield and then short hop float back air really quick, or like float back air and then like do something else from there. You just got to be really careful to not get opened up or like dash in too much by his stuff. It's really you want to be this kind of slippery entity where he's trying to hit you with all his moves and he can't really get you, and then now it's your turn and you finally get to like you find, you thread the needle and you find like an opening. So playing Peach versus Fox, oh, that was really good. This was really good. This should have been a down smash, by the way. Right here, you run away right here, just down smash right here. This would have been literally like perfect, like what I'm talking about.
Oh,
because
I see, yeah.
because you're kind of in his face and you're kind of doing this, and then you're like spacing and you're kind of walling and you dash away and you get him to whiff and you're like got him, and then you crouch down smash this, or like right here you just down smash, and then now it's your turn and you'd be winning this in terms of percent. Like you'd be getting a bunch more damage than he's getting.
It feels like almost like you're getting close to the point that you like unlock attacking options in their mind, and then you get out of the way, I guess.
Yeah, so exactly. That's perfect. You're getting it.
Yeah. Oh, that's... Yeah.
And you just have to be really patient. like right here, like you're in disadvantage. What you should be doing here is trying to get down safely. You shouldn't be trying to hit him because you're in a disadvantage.
Yeah. Okay.
Whenever you're on a platform, whatever. This is what I like to see. You're like, hey, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. Okay, I'm safe. And then, but you dash attacked afterward instead of like walling.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then here, when he's like, like this is when you just like wave dash and then wave dash back right here into a dash attack. You would have hit him, like wave dash before that drill. So as soon as he starts doing that, that's when you're like, I'm gonna wave dash out and I'm gonna hit him because he needs to get out of my face. And then once you convince Fox to stop rushing you, and this is what happens when you pull a turnip, by the way, you get caught like this. You don't want that.
Yeah, it's horrifying. Yeah. It's so much clearer when you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was good for... It's like, you'll do good stuff, but you're like, I'm taking laser damage, and like, I haven't done anything, and like, oh no, dash attack, and it's kind of like, no, you were doing a great job. Like,
I'm scared of it, I think.
Right. But you saw when the guy was camping me for a second, I would just keep doing it. And then, like, I'll get him to dash back, and I'll just move in one more inch, 1 more inch forward, and keep doing it. And you'll take some laser damage. But I gotta tell you, from the Fox side, when you laser Peach, like, 8 times, and then she gets a dash attack and down smashes you out of your mistech, and then tech chase dash attacks, and then do a grab or whatever, standard Peach combo, it feels like the lasers were a really bad idea. So don't worry about the fact you're taking the laser damage, because all that matters is you getting those clean hits that you're looking for.
Okay.
Wow, this guy is fast.
That's pretty good. He got ranked #1 in Asia.
Yeah, he's definitely good.
I mean, it's other than some people who weren't participating, right? Like Amsage.
Mm-hmm.
But still. Oh my god.
Yeah, so he's just doing this basically like when because that's the thing. Remember, I was saying is like step 1 is Fox wants to rush Peach, and Peach is like, nah, I'm gonna defend myself perfectly. You don't get to rush me. And then Fox starts camping Peach, which is like what the matchup should turn into. So then once he starts camping you, then you have to do that whole slow approach thing. Just really patient, really slow. Like, if you can't... Like, I would rather you be trying to slowly work your way in and take like 30 damage off of lasers than get impatient from 3 lasers, dash attack, and then eat like a drill wave shine up smash,
Yeah.
And just don't even bother. Turnips are only useful against Fox when he's off stage. When if he's not off stage, do not pluck a turnip ever. Right. Okay, so we're at about an hour. Do you have any final thoughts or observations or anything like that?
No, I feel like this was good. I definitely feel like I just need to be more confident in playing the defensive game, because I'm not. and I don't know. I kind of give up on it, I think.
Yeah, that was what a lot of it seemed like. Was like you can do it, but then you're like, whatever. This is clearly wrong, and it's like, nope, that's right. Just keep
Yeah.
doing it.
I guess I don't have anything else to say, so but I can ask you maybe how are you feeling about the game?
What do you mean?
Your game,
Oh, like
Breakneck.
breakneck? Oh, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
having a. I love my game. I like.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time lately. We started working on the story scenes, and
Oh.
so we got like one finalized pretty much, and now we're going through the others and just making it so the characters like a character will walk on screen and then they talk and then they like jump off screen or whatever. Like there's different ways for the characters to kind of enter the story sequences and stuff like that. So that's kind
Mhm.
of what we're doing right now, and it's pretty fun despite it. It doesn't really have like a big payoff until all of the story is done.
Yeah.
But I'm
But
still
it's
having
like
a
that.
really good time with it. So yeah, I think dev is going pretty well right now. The artist slash musician is over at my house right now, and we're gonna be like working really hard for the next like couple weeks.
That's awesome.
So yeah, thanks
Gosh,
for
I wish I
asking.
could have people over to make games right now. I,
Yeah, no, I'm pretty fortunate in that respect.
yeah.
But
Well, that's awesome to hear.
yeah. Anyway, I think it was a good lesson. I hope it helped you out. And
Yeah, it did.
as soon as Discord stops being frozen, I will end the call. But Discord completely froze, so I'm stuck here. Wait, there we go. Okay,
Yeah,
have a good
thank
one.
you. Yeah, like
Peace.